Rise. Please welcome back to the Boone County Courthouse, Supreme Court Justice, the Honorable Steve David.
Thank you. Please sit down before you pass out. You know, thank you, Judge. Thank you all for being here, for braving the heat. I am overwhelmed, nearly overwhelmed like you with the heat. In addition, I am overwhelmed by the humbleness in which I stand before you. It is my honor, it is my pleasure. I will do my very best to wrap this up very quickly. I will tell you, when I was standing inside the courthouse before I came out, and incidentally, those of us wearing the period costume are not really happy with you people wearing shorts, okay? Like the Tony Pattersons, and my carriage mate, Nicole, is now changed clothes and very comfortable. I was talking to Reverend Arch Hawkins before I came out here, and I said, Arch, you prayed a little too hard about this weather. You could have backed off a little bit. He said, Judge, I'm in marketing, not management. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Ken Campbell is standing to my left, your right, and you all know that he is a crack shot. And he told me I have less than 10 minutes, or there will be no warning shot, just one headshot. So I will move this along. 100 years ago, this courthouse was dedicated. The Vice President of the United States appeared and spoke. It was 80 degrees then. Today you're stuck with me, and it's 101. Such the luck. Maybe the next 100 years will go better for you. Vice President Fairbanks spoke for about 30 minutes, 35, 39, maybe 40, we're not exactly sure. Again, King Campbell has me on the watch. I will, however, quote the former Vice President. There is beauty, strength, and majesty about this courthouse, which in the best sense typifies the citizenship of this county, which has built it. He said, long after this scene has faded from the memories of men and women, the Temple of Justice will stand as physical evidence of your regard for your future. Now let's advance that perspective 100 years. Today, the 100th anniversary. Our former Chief Justice, Randall Shepard, frequently remarked on the interesting feature of many Indiana towns. He said, usually, historically, the three tallest buildings in the town were the church, the grain elevator, and the courthouse. The church steeple, he said, served as a testament to its congregations. Gratitude for the blessings of their American lives, their ancestors, and their opportunities, and the faith that caused the pioneers to settle this great nation. The grain elevator declares the dominance of agriculture, the foundation of our very economy in this great state, and the hope for economic prosperity. And the last building represented our founding fathers' aspirations that all men are created equal and to secure their unalienable rights. Governments are instituted among men and women, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. But unlike the British, you see, we don't call these structures government houses, we call them courthouses, which Chief Justice Shepard also said implied something more. It showed that access to justice was more important to our state's settlers as what maybe the British thought, and just as important as industry and faith. So while the church serves as a place of worship, a place where the congregations can meet, the home of our fellowship and faith, the foundation of our various faiths, and the grain elevator serves as the foundation of our history and our industry and our economic future. The courthouse serves and stands as the center of our American communities. And nowhere is that more true than in the Midwest, in the heartland of America. because here we have built our communities around structures. In fact, of Indiana's 92 counties, only 7 do not have a courthouse square in the center of that town. And it is at these centers, these courthouse squares, these town squares, that Hoosier communities join together to protest sometimes, to remember other times, and to celebrate as we do today. And you want to know something really, really cool about Indiana, about our state, about your state? Courthouse squares are not commonplace in the United States of America. The top states for courthouse squares: Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, the heartland of America. Add Georgia, add Texas, but put Indiana at the top, because Indiana has the highest percentage of courthouse squares in the United States of America. You're standing before the heartbeat of America, not Chevrolet, but courthouse. You are here. It is here that we gather our collective will. We build monuments to our war dead, those who have served and those who have supported those who have served. We memorize our civic leaders. We pay tribute to those who work hard, who volunteer in our communities. We display works of art and public culture. We celebrate back to the 50s. We literally show and sell the fruits of our labor. And we do our very best to dispense justice for all. So it is no coincidence that the courthouse stands so tall in our Indiana towns. And it would not be a 4th of July without recognizing those who have served this country in uniform in wartime and in peace, on active duty in the reserves, the Guard. Most of you know that I'm a country music fan. I think country music has some of the best lyrics and all of the worst lyrics in music. And this is a Lee Greenwood day, and no, I'm not going to sing, but I'm going to quote you. Lee Greenwood's proud to be an American, because that is the consummate 4th of July song. If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, because the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died to give that freedom to me. So would all the men and women, if you're standing, raise your hands. If you're not standing, if you can stand, ever served, currently serve our great nation, would you please stand and let the rest of us honor you? Thank you for your service. The Boone County Courthouse is a perfect example that all we revere and hold dear. It is the 3rd building on the site, the 4th courthouse that Boone County has had. And physical evidence, there is plenty. The massive limestone columns outside are over 30 feet high. The courthouse dome is 84 feet high. To find a bigger dome, you have to go to West Baden, not the State House. Limestone carvings of agriculture, justice, the arts, and industry grace the exterior, and the inside is full of stained glass skylights and exquisite murals. But more importantly, for years to come, as Vice President Fairbanks said 100 years ago to this day, this courthouse will tend to shape the ideals of those who behold it, both the old and young. It will impress them with the power and permanence of the government, the necessity of law and order. They will behold it in one of the rich trophies of civil liberty. 100 years later to the day, and on the birthday of our nation, we stand here celebrating not just the longevity and beauty of this tremendous structure, but all that it represents. That we have a transparent and freely elected government, and we have access to justice. And today we remind ourselves of Vice President Fairbanks' words, "To this sanctuary the oppressed may come to seek redress for their wrongs. Here men, whether favored by fortune or otherwise, will stand equal before the law." And the law? What is the law? Listen to this. Because you all are integral, you all are critical, you all are absolutely essential to our democratic way of life. Law is defined as the system of rules of conduct established by a sovereign government of a society to correct wrongs, maintain the political and social order, and deliver justice. Justice, the rule of law. That is what separates this nation from most of the rest of the world and makes most of the rest of the world envious of us. Sometimes that's not a good thing, but it's a necessary thing. 100 years ago, when Vice President Fairbanks spoke, there were less than 20 democracies in the world. Today, between 80 and 110 democracies exist out of the roughly 200 countries of the world. I say, great job, America. Great job, American people. Happy 4th of July. And to you and your ancestors, thank you for bringing us the last 100 years. And to you and your descendants, which will surely follow, thank you for the next 100 years. You see, all of you, not just the lawyer, but the farmer, the banker, the teacher, the preacher, the manager, the laborer, the first responder, the store owner, the businesswoman, the soldier, the sailor, the marine, the airman, the public servant, those who work for not-for-profits, those who work in business, grandparents, parents, mothers and fathers, everybody, all of us. We are the stewards of the rule of law. We are the hope for the future of this great nation. It is the rule of law that binds us, protects us, and allows anyone in this great nation to dream, to become, and to be. You are the present and the future. Living in the United States of America has got to be a get-to-do, want-to-do. We've got to shy away from that, I gotta do, I have to. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in a get-to, want-to country, the greatest nation in the world. As you go about this day and tomorrow and the days to follow, I suggest to you to consider focusing less on your to-do list. We all have them. I can't find mine right now. It's long. Focus less on your to-do list and more on your to-be list. What can I do to be a better parent, a better community citizen, a better American? Focus on your get to, want to, not your have to or gotta do. Responsibility and obligation, that's our duty. That's our duty to our fellow citizen, and that's our duty to our country. Thank you for the opportunity to address you. Sheriff hasn't shot at me yet, so I'll wrap this up with this. Remember 8 simple words as you go about today and tomorrow. Work hard, do good, be proud, have fun. Thank you very much.